for me, it's hard to really tell how much of the Krusher is back or whatever. But like, how do you think he would do against someone who might show him a little more movement, or someone? I mean, obviously, Sullivan Barrera fought last night as well. I don't know if you got a chance to see that fight, but
I did.
It sounds like they might be heading in that direction, a future showdown between Kovalev and Barrera. Do you think he'll look as good against a Sullivan Barrera as he did against Shabransky?
Well, this is what I have to say about fighting Sergey Kovalev. If you don't have the ability to step to him, if you stay out on the end of his punches, he's going to be the same Krusher. But if you don't have the ability to take the mid-range away from him, if you don't have the ability to slip in and keep him uncomfortable because he doesn't perform well when he's uncomfortable, he's still going to be the same Sergey Kovalev. If you look in the light heavyweight division, he at this time is bringing the most flavor. He has the best arsenal up there at this time, from what I could see. And whoever the next person that beats him, you're definitely going to have to step to him. And you can't be stationary like Shabransky was. You're right, they couldn't have got a better script for Academy Award than that one. I feel for Shabransky because, man, where does he go from there? 30 years old, and the road gets tougher. But he made him look like $1 million. And that's not taking nothing away from Kovalev's ability. He has ability. I always said that he was a heck of a fighter. So it's going to be interesting to watch as they meet up with each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did say you got a chance to see Barrera's performance. I mean, what did you think of that?
You know what? Barrera was in a tough fight last night, and that kid he fought is going to trouble anybody. He's very unpredictable, wild, can punch, and he's very durable. So Barrera fought the fight he had to fight with a kid who was hitting him low, head-butting him, and everything else. Right now, if Barrera is able to go forward, he'll make an interesting fight. He does have a good jab that could trouble Kovalev, and he has a good right hand that could trouble Kovalev. But more importantly, last night, I liked the way he was able to slip in on Valero and work the body. He definitely was working the body last night with an awkward guy. So seeing those attributes, it's going to be an interesting fight. I wouldn't give one an edge over the other until I guess maybe fight time gets near, or the weigh-in or something like that. But it should be an interesting fight.
Just based on what you did see out of Kovalev last night, do you think that mentally he's back? I mean, obviously the win for him was probably helpful as far as his psyche is concerned. So, just being able to get that stoppage, do you think mentally that's going to help him out?
It will only help him if the people around him, particularly his coach, tells him the truth, that we needed this win. We got the right guy for you to get the win, and you did it in fantastic style. But don't think off of this fight here with Shabransky that you're all the way back, because the first person that offers resistance, the first person that fires back, that's when you're going to really see it. I'll give you a good example of last night. Shabransky landed a real good jab in the first round that sort of knocked Sergey back.
I saw that, yep.
Right in the face, right? And you could see in Sergey's face for a split second that he was making a decision. Okay, am I going to take my time and try to figure this guy out since he comes in, or am I going to go full steam ahead and be the Krusher? He actually had to make that decision. He made the decision to be the Krusher because before he got touched with that, he was touching Shabransky, so there was no reason for him to back off yet. But the first person that he hits and they don't go nowhere and hits him back, that's when you'll see, in fact, how much impact his pairing with his new coach has.
Do you think
But they need
that
to tell him the truth that this was made for you. You could have done this on 4 weeks training. So don't get big headed. Don't get out of control. Don't say you're back. Say you're on your way back.
Do you think that might be the reason why? Because I know during the post fight, obviously there was a couple other champions out there, Bivol, Better BF, stuff like that. It seemed to me like they were still focusing more on a potential Sullivan-Barrera fight as opposed to maybe trying to unify with one of those guys. Do you think maybe, his team, the people around him, are kind of aware of that and would like to get him in with Barrera first before going after those guys? Because those guys, listen, and that's not to say those guys are better than Barrera or anything like that, but those guys are big punchers too.
Mm-hmm. The Barrera fight is going to be easy to make because they're the same promoter.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Bivol with Main Events too?
I think he is with Main Events, which is actually, that's the reason why I asked, because if I'm Kathy Duva and I've got those three guys, Kovalev, Bivol, and Barrera, I would think she would probably want to do a unification unless you're a little bit concerned that, well, maybe, this guy over here isn't quite ready to taste some of the power from this guy over there. So let me slide in another. I guess it could be a business decision too, though. If you can squeeze in as many fights as possible as you can to make as much money. So I'm not sure.
I think that would be the route that they would take to keep Bivol and Kovalev away from each other for a while and let them build up their resumes. Kovalev build up his again and Bivol continue to march forward, because then that fight is going to be in big demand and she's going to really benefit from that fight. So it's no rush. I don't know how many years she's got with him, but whatever it is, she doesn't have to rush for a while. So I think that might be the plan, but who knows? But it does make a lot of sense to take that route.
Well, that's
Bivol and Kovalev away from each other.
Well, that's the weird thing about it, is that I think Barrera is actually Bivol's mandatory now, but it was actually Kovalev who was bringing up Barrera's name at the post-fight press conference. When somebody asked him, well, who do you want to fight next? First name out of his mouth was Sullivan Barrera. So it's like, Kathy's got two champions right now that look like they both want to fight Barrera. So it's like, which one would I prefer to do first? That's a tricky play, I think.
Yeah. Well, Barrera is with Main Events too.
I know, but that's what I mean. Yeah. She has all three of them. So which one?
She has all three of them.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? That's a hard one. But if you had to twist my arm, I have to go on what I see. Now, I don't see Kathy traveling with Sullivan Barrera anywhere. I don't see her showing up at fights with Bivol. But she's always with Kovalev.
True.
So I'm sure the fighters see that. And, they can put two and two together, however which way they want to. But to my eye, if you had to twist my arm, who she favored, I would have to say, based on what I see, it's Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the route she takes too. But either way, I think they're all good fights. I think that's the nice thing about the light heavyweight division, is that I can't definitively favor one guy over the other. I think Kovalev would probably, I would favor Kovalev over Bivol just because I feel like he's got more experience than Bivol has. But I don't think it's an automatic. I don't think it's an automatic that he goes in and beats him. And even with Sullivan Barrera, the same thing. I favor Kovalev over Barrera, but I don't know if it's an automatic that he beats him. But I think, more importantly, I think that's what speaks to Andre's skill level, is that, he was in with these same guys, particularly, Barrera, and just made it look so easy compared to, some of these other guys. So I think that speaks volumes on the skill level that, Andre Ward was on compared to, some of these other guys.
Exactly. And I think Lampley brought it up last night that in Kellerman that at some point you're going to have to acknowledge who Andre really is. Whether they ever give him his due credit, it's okay. I mean, it's said and done. You can't take it away from him. But the light heavyweight division is active and open, and some good fights there. And that's the good thing about it. We don't know who the clear-cut winner is. Yeah, Beat a Bear that beat Kovalev twice in amateurs. Kovalev said that was political. So you got, some, I'm not going to say bad blood, but, they're not blood brothers either. So you have that fight to be made, which probably could be the most difficult one to make because of the promotional situation. But they're out there. They're definitely out there, the light heavyweight fights.
Yeah, yeah.